This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
The following program, The Family Meeting, is sponsored by Polaris Insurance Agency and Eric Grant, and to the extent of their guests. The views and opinions expressed therein do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of NewsWeb Radio Company or its management.
This is Miss Lady B, La Boricua. Now it's time for the Family Meeting News.
Here are real news highlights from the Family Meeting. Coca-Cola was found to be the most polluted brand in the world for the second year in a row. While Nestle, Pepsi, and snack maker Mondelez followed Coca-Cola, the Atlanta-based beverage giant was responsible for more plastic litter than the other three combined, according to a report called Branded Volume 2, identifying the world's top corporate plastic polluters. The plastic was counted during brand audits where counted plastic litter collected in 484 cleanups in more than 50 countries on 6 continents in September. Coke was the top source of branded plastic collected in Africa and Europe. It was the second largest in Asia and South America, but 5th in North America. In North America, the most collected plastic litter was produced by Nestle, followed by the Solo Cup Company and Starbucks. Ooh, all you Starbucks people out there. And finally, with the death of Elijah Cummings, the United States lost a great statesman. At his funeral in Baltimore on Friday morning, great statesmanship was again on display. It was a fitting farewell for a man of such integrity and achievement. Cummings died at 68, far too young, a fate that is far too common among African-American men. He is the first African-American congressman to lie in state in the Capitol, and his funeral was attended by American political titans. Former Presidents Barack Obama and Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Rodham Clinton gave eulogies that highlighted Cummings' humble beginnings, his dedication to public service, and his empathy with those in need. The eulogies emphasized how a decent man like Cummings attracted decency to him in turn and stood up to wrongdoing wherever he saw it. For more info about Eric, Richard, myself, and any upcoming events, please visit our webpage, tfmradioshow.com. You can also find us all over social media. Be sure to go and like our Facebook page, The Family Meeting. Follow us on Twitter at TFM Radio Show. On Instagram, The Family Meeting. And you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Family Meeting Radio Show, where you can see us live streaming this broadcast right now. And to all of you who show us love each and every week, we say thank you. We so appreciate you. Are you looking to advertise your business, an event you may have coming up? Well, then become a cousin today. Send an email to info@tfmradioshow.com. I'm Teresa McDonald, and this has been your highlights for Sunday, October the 27th. The Family Meeting Radio Show starts right now with your host, Eric Grant.
A 2016 study estimates that 13.1 million Americans were victims of identity theft that year. Fight back against identity theft by signing up for Identity Guard. Identity Guard monitors your credit and identity information with alerts that can help you respond quickly if certain changes indicating fraudulent activity are detected, as well as help protect your computer from viruses, keylogging, and other serious threats. Plus, with Identity Guard's dynamic credit management resources and tools, you will have helpful information as you make better financial and credit decisions. Identity Guard includes $1 million identity theft insurance and lost wallet protection, and more if you ever do become a victim. Protect your ID by visiting lookaftermyid.com. That's lookaftermyid.com to securely sign up for Identity Guard today.
Make a smart financial move for retirement. Make your retirement money into an IRA. Schedule income. Support your dream. Explore investment options. Gain full control over your money. Give the money a chance for additional tax-deferred growth. How do you start? Call Polaris Wealth Management, the resource for IRA rollovers. Call 312-951-2000. 2606 or email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. Polaris Wealth Management is the resource for IRA rollovers. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. We help new retirees plan to protect their money. Securities offered through Line Street Financial LLC. Member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Line Street Advisors LLC. Polaris Wealth Management and Line Street are not affiliated.
This is Dr. Sharon Bethia. I'm Associate Professor at Northeastern Illinois University and the coordinator of the African American Studies program. I listen to the family meeting.
This is Melanie Martin Ware, Howard University alumni, class of 1990. I listen to the family meeting.
Here we are again, y'all, the worldwide headquarters of the family meeting. We talked about getting Bill Curtis in here to do that for us.
I heard.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that would be awesome.
Bill Curtis.
I'm Bill Curtis.
Welcome to the worldwide headquarters of the family meeting.
Hey,
I did say that
did
in
you
the
got
car
my
while I was
headsets
listening.
turned down low? Because
No,
I can
no.
barely hear us.
Yeah, I'm having trouble too, y'all.
Yeah, okay.
I can only hear it on one side.
Yeah, I've got my headsets turned all the way up, and I can, again, barely hear us.
I don't know what's going on. Hey, Paul, maybe you can help us, man. I don't know why we're getting sound crazy here. Hey, you know what? It's family meeting time, though, y'all. I'm your boy E in the Space Shuttle cockpit. I see Paul over there. Devin's around here somewhere. Thank you, fellas. Trusted, thanks for doing the real news.
You are so welcome.
Real news. You get Bill Curtis to do that, too. Real news.
Yeah.
And the only way you know how to do it, you have to be like the best newscaster on earth.
Aww.
There's not a better newscast.
Thank
you. You figured out?
Whoa.
Yes,
Okay,
there
you
it
go.
is.
That's the reason. Okay. The magic button.
That was it.
You know what? And he just did it. He just ran in here like you used to do your facials.
You know what? I'm going to throw
You'll
something at
hit me.
you.
You'll hit me, right?
The Black Asian dude is here, too. Richard Chu, what's up, man?
Hey, man. Good to see y'all.
Hey, Richard. Welcome back.
Fresh off of his own little personal profiling.
He was running from the law. Quit playing.
Yeah.
He was.
Like us on social media. We're all over Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. But also be sure to email us at info@tfmradioshow.com or visit our webpage, tfmradioshow.com. Share your email address and join the family. You'll also find our archived broadcasts and our often requested music playlist, but most importantly, the live video. It is video. It's video today.
It is video.
It's video.
Look
I
at
see
it.
The live video of the
you.
broadcast.
I see you,
is
Trust
there
I
today.
see you,
Yeah.
too.
Eric with that cool Howard
Go
Bison
to
hat on.
tfmradioshow.com. The family meeting is sponsored by Identity Guard. Take the time to protect your ID for as little as $6 per month. We should make it $7 and keep $1. Visit lookaftermyid.com to learn more. Lookaftermyid.com to learn more.
Only Eric would think of that.
Yeah, I'm
Hey,
trying to get my
that's-
money
that's
on,
what a
man.
financial
Gotta pay
planner
tuition,
does.
man. Gotta pay my tuition.
Yeah.
The number is 773-763-9278, 773-763-9278. Man, I was in Cincinnati, Ohio this week.
Did you fly into Erlanger, Kentucky?
Cincinnati.
Or-
Yeah, we actually flew into Kentucky, of course. But
And
man, I
drove
was
back to
thinking that,
location.
I don't go to Ohio very much. You know I'm a big fan of the funk, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking this is Ohio, it's home of the funk. Let me see if I can find a radio station that's playing the funk.
Oh, man.
Man, these folks
Yeah,
are so
no.
indifferent to the funk
No.
in Ohio, man.
Did you throw something at the radio because you got so upset?
I was like, y'all, what y'all doing, man?
Did you go visit Bootsy?
No, I wanted to. I wanted to find Bootsy. I heard he got a restaurant in town, but I didn't get a
He
chance to go.
does. It's really nice, too.
Yeah.
Food is
The
excellent.
name is Bootsy, baby. That's what I'm going to see that, man. On the way back though, I messed around. You get on the plane, it's Southwest. You know how Southwest is. You just herd on like cattle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, exactly.
You get on
That's
the
why
airplane. Yeah, okay. Get stuck on Spirit if you want to.
I've never gotten
'cause-
stuck on Spirit.
Yet. Okay, so big fella gets on the plane, right? I'm sitting near the window. Big fella gets on the seat on the aisle. Cool. Some between
Yeah,
us.
you happy.
Right. The worst thing that could happen is a little skinny white girl come and sit there.
Depending.
Right. Because they'll see, I'm spread out a little bit. Big fella there. He probably needs to raise the armrest because he's so big, right?
What
Here
happened?
come this big brother.
Oh,
Another
no.
one.
So
Ain't no seats left.
did you have your left leg over your right leg, just leaning like this?
So
Big
you were
old
like,
brother,
you
man.
were like, oh.
Both of them brothers was north of 300, man. Both of them.
Wow.
And I'm squeezed up against the damn window.
Big old thighs, big country thighs, right?
Like,
You had,
And
and they were hot. They were
oh,
hot. They were hot.
yeah,
Man, why is it so hot in here, man? Turn the air on in here, man. You know I get like that, man. Why I get so unlucky, man?
it happened to me on a flight out to L.A. Like a year ago. I had the same thing happen.
I'm the last person I was the last person because I'm flying for free. Man, I was between literally two brothers that hoping nobody was going to sit next to him. Massive. I mean, like you said, plus 300.
North of 300,
just everything on them is just.
I ain't got nothing against 300 pounds.
No, but just sometimes you got
to spread out, though. You can't all be all together. That don't work in an airplane.
Give that room some,
Luckily, the flight was only like an hour.
Yeah. Quick up and down.
Yeah, so I tried to go to sleep. It was real snug. You're snug like that, you sleep well. Snug. Felt like I was being swaddled. Like a baby.
He had a big shoulder to rest his head on in case he fell out.
I couldn't get my head over there. I couldn't. It was just tight, man.
Wow.
Big fella, man. So that's the adventures of E flying.
When did you fly back?
Friday.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, you missed the rain of coming in last night because that was something else.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
Yes.
Of course, when I was in Ohio, I was in business meetings in Ohio. And so, all day you don't see any news or anything or hear anything unless you get alerts on your phone like I do periodically. So I watched this merry band of angry white dudes.
You mean?
They busted into the skiff. You saw that, right?
Mm-mm.
The angry Republicans who busted in.
Oh, yeah. Let us in. We're supposed to be here.
You've been vacationing away. Where you been, Miss News Lady? So the Republicans were outraged at the testimonies.
You thought that was a joke?
I thought it was a joke. I honestly
did. They did. They got video of it.
Yeah, they busted in there, and apparently they got in there and they sat around for 4 or 5 hours, ordered pizzas.
Wait, hold up.
Yeah, Tressa, I know.
In a
secure room.
Yes.
And they came in with cell phones, which is a violation.
I was just saying that a violation.
They should all have their asses in jail.
But to me, I was like, oh no, hell no, they did not.
Oh, come on, me.
To me, it was funny as hell. Because listen,
and they come down the stairwell, and
all of them together, and it's all the idiots of them. Stephen King, the dude from Iowa.
You mean with the clicky shoes that you heard in the airport that time?
Sissy shoe boy went. So he comes in there, everybody, and they come in. They're outraged. They're just everybody's upset.
Led by Matt Gaetz out of Florida. Now he actually, as an attorney, broke the law. He I don't know all the detail, but he crossed the line on some of the things he's legally not allowed to do as an attorney, as a licensed practitioner. But anyhow, it was a bunch of
So I've got a question though for I'm going to call it society before we hit this break.
Okay.
But there was a skit on Saturday Night Live. Did you guys see Saturday Night Live?
I did.
You see the opening skit?
Okay, I missed it.
You got to watch it, man.
Okay.
They basically said, all you people who support Trump, all of you are imbeciles.
Yeah.
Okay.
They didn't basically say it. They pretty much said it.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
So they would parade people up to say the stupid things that Trump supporters say.
You're right.
Right. He said something about, I was going to shoot somebody, and she pulled out her gun. You can use my gun. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did like what
non-spelling snaggertooth ass kind of people.
It was.
I did like what
hilarious.
Bill de Blasio said though this week. He said, "Yeah, if he decides to shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue, trust me, we're going to arrest him and cart him off to jail." So,
he is not above the law.
Yeah, he will get arrested in New York City if he does that.
He talking bad too. He don't mean that either.
I can't believe this storming thing. I honestly thought that was a joke.
They stormed the skiff.
I really thought that was a joke.
A couple of dozen of them did so. And I didn't see. It was like all white dudes. I don't think if Tim Scott was in the bunch, and I don't even. There might have been a woman or two in there, but it was like Revenge of the Nerds kind of a.
Nah, even the nerds wouldn't do that. The nerds
were just outraged.
The revenge.
Even I would.
I mean, so see, here's the thing.
They were acting like that the Democrats were keeping it secret. But there are some dozen or so Republicans who are in the meeting too.
Exactly. So
but we're talking about the same imbeciles from SNL who don't know the difference.
So we're talking about optics here. They wanted it to appear
to their
as though that they're
the base who are imbeciles
and crazy
and don't pay attention.
Yeah.
So they're running around thinking, well, they're keeping it secret, not realizing.
And our people are fighting for us. They're in there. They're tearing back the Democrats. That's what that was all about. It was totally about because every one of those quote unquote elected officials in their little funky districts, they know better than that. They know what the rules are, and for them to pretend that they don't is stupid and it's irresponsible. But beyond that, they were doing exactly what he said.
In the same way that you do with a baby, you can jingle your keys in the baby's face, and you put it behind your back. As far as that baby's concerned, the keys disappeared from the face of the earth.
Yep. And then when you
They
bring
don't
them
know any
back,
better. They're just that dumb.
and then they come back, you bring the keys back, and life is good again.
Right.
So
Well, where'd they come from?
Right. So E often says, "Get your boy." So I'm not disappointed in the folks that decided to go do their little skiff invasion. It's the people that didn't go. So what's up with them?
It's always the people who don't say anything.
The people didn't say anything. Like, wait a minute, hey man, y'all, we aren't supposed to do that.
The Republicans have never held private
doesn't
interviewing of witnesses.
That's the striking part.
when
Right. They
they
did the
were-
same thing with Benghazi.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So
It wasn't like
But
a couple.
remember now, they're trying to cater to people
who are
imbeciles.
stupid.
Okay.
That are stupid.
Okay.
And
And
that
again-
knew that Fox would pick it up and go,
Again, I
the
say, here we
Republicans
go.
are taking control. They're being leaders. They're doing.
That man know he's in big trouble. That he knows.
No,
he's
actually, he's not. That's the thing. He's not.
Yeah, because they're
He's
going
not.
to keep
Listen,
moving the goalposts and
Here's
playing
my
these
question.
games.
Here's my question. How does it feel when you watch people commit crimes? You know they did it. You got people saying they did it. You got it on video they did it. And you know nothing's going to happen to them.
Yeah.
How does that feel? Then you know how it feels
Talk about
to operate as a black person in this country.
bingo. So for all our wonderful white folks out there that we love you, when you say this is just wrong and we're better than this, take a breath and go, this is what black folks are talking about.
Because we have to second think every response
Yep.
that we give. Because, listen, somebody roll up to you and they punch you in the mouth. And you hit them back. But you got to think first before you hit them
What's
back.
going to be the outcome?
Because when the police show up, they're going to bust you in the head.
Well,
Even though you got hit first.
bingo. And I just told y'all about my little incident this weekend, which I don't like to take up time to talk about it. But yeah, that was my calculus. I had to think, dude, call the police. I need to.
Right. This whole notion, call the police, by the way.
Yeah.
Black people don't call the
We
police.
don't call the police.
That's
we-
dangerous to call the police.
Wait. When we do, guess what? An innocent black woman gets shot by a white police officer. That's what happens when we call the police. Some black person still gets shot.
But think about that question for a second. Think of how it feels right now as you watch that imbecile in the White House do everything he does, and you got a parade of witnesses coming through who are saying, "Yep, he did that.
Yeah.
Yep." And you got more coming by and say, "Yeah, I saw it too. He did that," and you know nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's the life of a black person.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Tell me how that feels. Tell me how that feels.
Try-
You know nothing's going to happen here.
And they
Try that
all
costume
had
on.
their hairs on fire with, as Dave Chappelle refers to, juicy smoothie.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
They had their hair on fire about
Yeah.
Jesse because he didn't get charged and have to go through a trial for making a false police report, something that didn't harm or hurt nobody.
Cost $150,000, what the city has wasted 100 times
Oh,
over
oh my
since then
God.
on some other craziness.
And so, lest anybody think that the implication here is that you should not prosecute black people who've done wrong.
We're not saying
Nope.
that at all.
No, not at all. You should. All we're saying is prosecute everybody
The same figure.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's
Right.
all.
This is all optics. It's just all optics. This whole, listen, and don't get me wrong, I'm glad if they got him, al-Baghdadi. I'm glad.
Oh, sure.
But this is all.
He blew himself up. Did you hear that?
Right.
Yeah, I did.
He said
I
he
did.
didn't go out like no
He
punk.
didn't
No.
go out like no punk.
He said,
He
"No,
said,
take
"No,
y'all with me."
Right.
I'm good.
Come on in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
come
Come on
on
in.
in.
Boom.
I'm ready.
Right.
Come on in. I'm ready to die."
Right. So for to your point,
Yeah.
I'm not going to take your point. Go ahead.
But it's just optics, for him to get out there. Did y'all hear the way he described him dying? He ran screaming down a tunnel with his 2 children in tow, which the Pentagon has said, some officials from the Pentagon said, no children were harmed. He said 2 of the children were killed. Okay.
Yeah, but
But-
see,
Yeah, see, I don't buy their politics.
And as our
These dudes ain't punks,
dogs
No.
chased him,
yeah.
But then I was watching MSNBC because they were talking about it, and then they put that tweet up there that he put up when Barack Obama was talking about
Yep.
when Obama
With,
Osama bin Laden was killed. Stop giving Obama credit for killing Osama bin Laden. The Navy SEALs killed him. And what did he get
There you go.
his orange looking butt up there and do today?
Yeah, sure.
And took credit for this raid.
When his punk ass didn't serve in Vietnam.
Oh,
you know,
my
because
God.
of bone spurs.
That'd be like me telling y'all some greens taste good, and I ain't never tasted greens in my entire life.
Right.
I don't buy in. Of course, I think that ISIS is the mortal enemy of democracy. I believe that 100%.
Yes.
But don't nobody believe for a second these guys are punks.
No.
They're not punks.
No.
They're gonna fight till the fight's over.
They're gonna fight till the fight is over.
I referenced Saddam Hussein, who, when he was about to get hung, he looked in the face of them and said, "You still afraid of me?"
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Sure enough,
I'm sitting here with a rope around my neck, and you still afraid of me.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So bring it.
And they're not punks.
No.
And they're mad about something. You should probably explore what they're mad about.
Bingo. If you want to really want to fix the problem, be intellectually curious about it, like Eric Grant would say.
I guess my question, we'll talk about this more after the break, but I guess my question is, why is it that when the Americans commit crimes, international crimes, that we are somehow in the right for doing what we did?
Because Americans are punks.
Did we have any right to kill Saddam Hussein?
No. Or Gaddafi.
Or Gaddafi.
Yeah.
Obama shouldn't have done that.
He shouldn't have.
No.
And I've said that. He shouldn't have done that.
No, hell no. But
he
they
shouldn't
wouldn't
have allowed any of that. No,
They didn't go
none
like
of them no
punks.
punks.
No. All right, y'all. Number 773-763-9278. Stay tuned for more of the family meeting.
Hi, my name is Natasha Hunter McGregor. Keep listening to the family meeting.
Hey Chicago, are you always on the go? Take the new Shy 311 app with you to find the information that you need, submit non-emergency city service requests, and much more. Download the new Shy 311 app, built with Chicagoans for Chicagoans. That's Shy 311 on the App Store or Google Play, or check it out online at 311.chicago.gov. Stay informed with Shy 311. It's your gateway to Chicago services.
This is Richard Chu, owner of First Capital Insurance Group, and my message is do what is doable. We each have a different measure of financial success. My mission is to help you define your financial goals in light of a realistic budget and time horizon. I want you to have a great year and a great life, but we have to keep it real. Is your retirement plan giving you the protection, interest rate, and cash you'll need in retirement? If you've had issues with your 401k, IRA, or other financial programs, give us a call. We have proven solutions and we can help. My direct number is 312-243-3907. Let's talk soon. Or visit my website, firstcig.com. That's the number 1, stcig.com.
A single K plan is a 401k plan designed especially for business owners and immediate family, regardless if they are incorporated or not. Single Ks offer both employer and employee contributions and in many cases have no setup fee or annual plan administrative charges. Single Ks are simple to administer with no government reporting required. Most importantly, this plan allows employees to access their savings via hardship withdrawals or loans. Visit our website at polarisadvice.com or call us about your business or organization's retirement plan at 312-951-2606 or email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. Polaris provides empowering advice for everyone.
Securities offered through Lion Street Financial LLC, member FINRA, and SIPC. Investment advisor services offered through Lion Street Advisors LLC, registered investment advisors. Polaris Wealth Management and Lion Street Financial are not affiliated.
This is Lisa Lenore, writer, editor, and educator. Welcome back to the family meeting.
I got to get Lisa on here again, man.
Yeah.
Lisa down in Mississippi. She bought a farm down in Mississippi.
All your girls, what's her name? That
Elise, yeah.
Yeah, she got a farm in South Carolina.
Elise crazy, though. Elise ain't that crazy.
I like her. She's funny as hell.
Yeah, she crazy. That's why she's funny. Elise crazy.
She gonna start a weed farm. We were dying laughing at homecoming. Oh my God. And I
didn't see her at homecoming.
She was second night at the hotel.
She was at the hotel.
Yeah, she because when you came over.
By the time I got there,
she was on another part of it. Yeah,
okay.
But she's funny. She cracked me up because she's a sweater like me. So we both stayed in there wiping sweat away, cracking up laughing, talking about her weed farm.
Wow.
So I got to make sure because I told them that I would do it today. Send our prayers out to our friend Maya Cummings. Wife of his party, Elijah Cummings.
Yes.
I made sure to holler at her after her loss. In watching though the funeral, and who Elijah Cummings represented to the country, Howard Man.
Yes, definitely a Howard Man.
Yeah, all the old black and whites came out from him being student government president and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And you watch. Leaders and former leaders offer cogent words. Damn, I miss having somebody give a speech that makes some damn sense.
Man, I was watching as much of it as I could on my phone while on vacation. I just I had so many moments where same sentiment. It's just wow, the difference.
Elijah Cummings was a great dude, and he had his moments where he was a politician, and they all have them.
Right.
Absolutely.
But I have a lot of standing questions, but two of them are, why is it that in order to be a politician, so many of them have to be such distasteful people? I'm talking about both sides of the political spectrum. Just distasteful, compromising.
I think my uncle, as many of you all may know, my uncle was a state senator here in Illinois, and I learned a lot by watching that. And I don't know that I have the answer, but I have a response, and that is because they represent so many different people, so many different thoughts and requests. No,
that doesn't mean you have to be nasty.
No.
Well, I mean, it's not even nasty. It's just like you feel dirty around them.
No.
Distasteful people.
I'm not
people I wouldn't be friends with.
I'm qualifying it again by saying I'm not saying I'm right, Tressa. Please understand, I'm not saying I'm right. But I watched Uncle Charlie and I would go, wow, ugh.
Yeah, when you have to represent a lot of different constituencies, that makes sense. But to compromise your own morals,
that part's
I don't
hard.
think these people are compromising these morals. What you're seeing is who they are,
or that they're capable of being. I think that a lot of people,
because nobody can make you. To me, and maybe I'm wrong. Nobody can make me be something that I'm not. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right. But the problem is that disqualifies you.
It does.
For office.
It does.
Right.
Yeah. I have a moral compass.
Tressa won't compromise. We know that.
Yeah.
So it's hard for you to win.
Well,
you have to be a compromising person.
But see, then it's the constituents who don't see that in the representative that they've elected. Would you want that person representing you? Because that's the way I look at it when I think about who I cast my vote for. Would I want this person to be my mouthpiece, my eyes, my whatever, to be representative of me?
Well, I think a lot of it, what we are seeing in the last 2 decades for sure, is the impact of money in politics. Because
Very true.
I can say that some of the old school politicians were good. They were good at the what's the word I'm looking for? The
retail politics.
Yeah, the getting stuff done piece of it, and they were still cool people. As soon as money since money has become so prevalent in all levels of politics, you see the ilk and the nasty really come out, which I think is reflective of what you were saying, Tressa, about.
Yeah, but would you though?
Well, you said this about
even
me,
with the money involved in politics. If you were running and you won, would you let money compromise you?
No, I wouldn't.
You can't win,
and that's why. And Eric said this when we were on Joe Esposito's show, and I appreciated if he's ever said anything about my character that I greatly appreciate, is he said, well, because Jones said, well, Richard, you should run for an office, and Eric said, no, his wife ain't gonna let him run, and more importantly, Rich couldn't win. Because Rich ain't gonna be compromised, and that's exactly right. I wouldn't be. My mouth is too big to go. Oh no, man, hold on.
More and more of politics has become the optics of it versus the actual work of it. Because I remember when Tip O'Neill was Speaker of the House. Tip O'Neill, for as people loved him, disliked him, whatever, Tip O'Neill got stuff done.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a Republican, right?
No, Tip was a Dem. Tip was a Dem.
Yeah. Was Tip a Democrat?
He and Kennedy were tight. Yeah, Tip O'Neill was
Wait a minute. So, wait a minute.
Who are you thinking of?
No, I'm thinking of Tip O'Neill. Because I remember his big white hair dude. Yeah. I don't know why I thought he was a Republican. But either way it went. He would get on the cameras and he'd say a few things that maybe stood for party or whatever, but he would still go back behind the scenes and he would negotiate and they would get things done.
Exactly. And by the way, and when I use the term compromise, I don't mean you have to compromise in politics. There's an equal and opposing view, and you've got to find somewhere to meet in the middle.
You can get done.
That kind of compromise I'm not talking about. I'm talking about compromising your morals. If something's wrong, it's wrong. You should stand up against it being wrong and not sit on the sideline and either not say anything or say something contrary to your morals.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think, before you think I'm impugning all politicians, I'm not doing that either. I'm saying there's too many of them.
Right.
It's too often you have to be that kind of a seedy, distasteful person in order to win.
They become the norm rather than the exception. No, he was a Democrat. Yeah. Tip O'Neill was a Democrat. Okay. But because he and Kennedy they got stuff done, and they were able to cross the aisle, as the phrase goes. But to Eric's point,
during that time, Newt Gingrich was in the House too, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Hugely distasteful person.
Yeah, hugely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he, I mean, for the definition, he was a good politician because he got stuff done for his side and destroyed a few people along the way.
Look at Lindsey Graham now.
Oh,
actually,
I don't even know how.
See, punk ass people in the world.
And Lindsey's not a good politician. He's showing now he's not a good politician because if he were a good politician, he would back away from some of this.
No. He's identified the same idiots that support Trump, and he's coding to them. They'll believe him.
Yeah,
and there's a bunch of them out there, by the way. Lest you think there's not a lot of them. There's a lot of them out there.
This week proved itself. This week truly proved itself. I mean,
he's the epitome of a distasteful person.
He is. He really is.
And,
I mean,
and can I,
the whole backtracking and pivoting that he's done.
Yeah, running around behind McCain like it's lackey.
You're gonna love this one.
Here's my thing. Why isn't Mitch McConnell? He's the Senate Majority Leader, right? Why would Lindsey Graham be on the stage today?
She went Medea on us that time. She said Leader.
Leader.
Right.
Yeah, you did.
Because I wanted to make sure they understood me. The Leader.
Boo too.
Why?
Leader.
Why was Lindsey Graham up on?
Well, I think that's part of their. That's part of their.
Is Mitch McConnell now figuring out that he might want to get off this train? Because latest polling in Kentucky for him ain't looking so good.
It's still Kentucky though.
Yeah, it's still Kentucky.
But he ain't looking good in Kentucky.
True.
They don't poll snaggletooth people in trailer homes.
You know what?
But they show up at the voting booth.
They show up at the voting booth.
Yeah. Stupid as they are.
Speaking of which, I had a conversation. I was at the laundromat. Yes, I go to the laundromat because.
Hey, I do too.
Well, the state says I have to do the business laundry in a commercial.
In a commercial, yeah. No, I knew
setting.
where you were going.
So I was having a conversation with someone there who, oh my God, he talked about how 50% of the black men are in prison. 50% of our black men don't vote. 50%, and he just went on and he went on. And as he went on, he said, because, I just got out of prison. And I said, wait a minute. Did you just say you just got out of prison? He said, yeah, I just got out of prison. I said, dude.
You need to get caught up on some things.
Listen, I was like, I said, before you make the statements that you just made, because he was talking about the election and a couple other different, I said, let me tell you what. I said, let me leave you with this one fact. I said, every election in this country, win or lose, black people decide that election. Mm-hmm. Either we show up and the candidate that should be there wins, or we don't show up and we get this fool that we got in the office now. In 2016, we did not go to the polls. We didn't.
Yeah, I mean,
We
I
didn't.
can't contrary to that.
There was
I mean,
large swaths.
But let's put it this way: if we don't, if we're not there, let's be honest. The technical part of this, the technology part of this is we all know now that it's not just the 3 states of Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania that were impacted by voter rolls being tampered with. It's now coming out in North Carolina. It's coming out in Florida. I mean, the dude.
But we give them the card to do this, because if they make a law that says you can be kicked off the voter rolls because you don't go vote,
then it becomes
it directly
itself.
towards us,
Sure.
because we're the ones who don't go to the polls, right?
Yeah. Well,
so that's what happened.
No, I agree with that. I mean, I agree that is part of the problem, but you get into the technological impact, and that clearly was on.
But I brought that up because
but you know where we're from the black community's quote standpoint, where we're really have become our worst enemy when it comes to voting. It's not in the national elections; it's in the local elections.
Absolutely,
that's where we're really killing ourselves. No,
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that's where we're hurting
But
ourselves.
I brought that up because he was ragging on elections and people not voting and this and that, and then he makes the statement, "I just got out of jail," dude. Well, and these
Get
young
your stuff together.
yeah.
I'll give him a tiny bit of credit for at least talking about it, and then now
Well,
get
he
him to
probably
do.
got a lot saved up from all that sitting in jail. time.
True. Now he needs to do something with it, and you did the right thing. You put him you gave him something to think about other than what junk got put in his head while he was incarcerated.
That's exactly what it was. And he reminded me of the typical Trump supporter. Had just been fed a bunch of information and didn't have the facts behind it. I said,
Usually they're not fed a bunch; they're fed just a little bit.
Just a little bit,
and they eat all that.
Eat all that. Yeah.
Well, that's true too. And then they take it and run with it.
Right.
I was listening.
They get a little bit of
more.
information that gets repeated over and over and over, and it becomes a rule for them.
Well, I was listening to this cat.
What's the saying that a lie will get around the world twice before the truth even gets its pants on?
Yeah. Well, that's what's happened with a lot these weak-minded Trump followers, and that's just what I'm calling them now. I mean, gloves are off. No more nice, conversations. I'm
not gonna call them anything. I'm not even gonna refer to them. I've just decided that number one, it's not my job to educate or even feel anything for people who cognitively decide that they are not wanting to be having a vested part in this democracy and in this country, because clearly you have to be totally drugged up on whatever to not see what the facts being presented to you are saying.
Yeah, because they don't want to.
You are being willfully ignorant, and you are willfully a part of what's the destruction of what's going on in this country
That leads
right
me
now.
to my second of many standing questions. How then, at the conclusion of whatever election removes this menace, how do we live with these imbeciles?
Yeah, because
how do you work with them? How do you live next to them every day?
Because you know that they're not going to throw their hats, their MAGA hats and their Go Trump hats, like this dude I saw at the airport yesterday. They're not going to throw those out.
Because I've
They're gonna
asked the
continue.
question, why do you support him? And no one can tell me a valid reason why.
Well, valid.
They think they're valid.
They think they're valid. Yeah, that's the problem. That's the disconnect. Not,
You can't ask questions
because
like that.
they think that they're valid.
But you can't ask questions like that. One, you wouldn't like the answer if they gave you one. And two, they don't have an answer.
Yeah,
They don't.
And three, you don't even care what the answer is.
right.
Really, do you care?
No, that's the main one. No, I don't care.
Yeah.
Why, don't ask it then.
I think my question that I've been asking some people, not everybody that is fully a Trump supporter, is I ask them, what are you going to do when he's not in office? And I don't say how. I ask the question, what are you going to do when he's not in office? Because the Constitution
it ain't going to be math. We know that.
Yeah. Because the Constitution, if he gets reelected, is not going to change, and suddenly he gets a third or fourth or fifth term. He's gone.
Yeah.
After that. So I've been asking people, and they don't have an answer for that.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I wouldn't ask that either. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. In my meetings in Cincinnati,
Yeah.
one of them was sitting, probably the next table over for me in our session.
How did you know?
There was a question asked in front of the room, and he joked, "Well, CNN's not a real news source."
Okay.
So you could tell where he was headed
Gotcha,
with this
gotcha,
thing.
gotcha. Sorry.
So I have no interest in being friends with that dude now.
No.
I know where he stands. And after this dude is gone, we can't all of a sudden be friends.
No.
That's not how that works.
No. The only way that could possibly remotely happen is, like you said, the week following the election, retribution. You got to apologize, et cetera, et cetera. So, that's a really important thing. What are we going to do rather than what they're going to do?
That's all I can control is what we're going to do. And I really have no idea because I see them with less frequency. I got a dear friend of mine, Tony Grant, who lives in no relation in Columbus, Ohio, and he says, they've got commercials on television all day, every day for Trump in Ohio. We don't see that in Illinois.
No,
because he doesn't have much support here. They're not running ads here. But he's like, and they're all around me, man, and I don't know what to do. Especially people who I didn't know were like that. Now that I know, I can't get on with you no more.
Yeah.
And that's. Maybe they can repent somehow, and repent maybe is still an aggressive word.
No, it's
but
not.
I can't live with you, man.
No,
I don't have any desire for harm to come to you. But don't come to me for no jobs or to do business with me
or compassion.
No, I ain't interested in that.
Nope, not at all.
No, because you support someone who engages in rhetoric that at one point had my people hanging from trees
and wants to continue that process because it is a process.
And when he made that comparison to what he's going through to a lynching, that ticked me.
No, if you support that, then we can't get out.
No.
We just can't get down.
At all.
I don't mean you any harm.
Nope.
I don't mind if you live next door,
Nope.
but don't come mess
Stay
with
off
me,
my
man.
grass.
Don't
Stay off my grass.
Yeah, stay off my grass. Stay off my grass. All right, y'all. The numbers. I see the phones lit up here. I see Roosevelt, Richard. I see Eduardo, Paul, and Pam. Hey, y'all. Next, stay tuned for more of the Family Meeting.
A guy who couldn't put aside his pride to save his life sits alone at home by the phone, and it's no surprise. He done took that woman for granted, and she got wild.
This is Dr. Steve Johnson from Howard University. Keep listening to the Family Meeting.
Don't procrastinate. Shine with the people you love with love. Make sure they know.
Mom, Dad, let's talk. It seems like only yesterday your parents were offering you advice, but now you could be in a position to help them. Do they have a plan? How would they handle a long-term care event? Are they prepared emotionally and financially for the future? Starting those conversations can be challenging. Call Polaris Insurance Agency and we'll send you the Let's Talk guide free of charge. Call 888-355-7154. Again, 888-355-7154.
The reason that it's important to advertise on the Family Meeting is that we have an economical way of reaching a great audience. One could say it's not cheap, but what we like to say is that it's an effective buy for a business or an individual who wants to reach a quality audience. The reason that it's important or a good place to advertise is that our cousins love to patronize. I'm Richard Chu, also known as Bad, the Black Asian dude with the Family Meeting. For more information on advertising on the Family Meeting, you can reach us at info@tfmradioshow.com. That's info@tfmradioshow.com. You can also contact us at area code 708-794-6444, 708-794-6444.
Have you found yourself in love before? Tell me, ain't it a different kind of thing? So much loving, such a real good feeling, child. The kind of feeling good loving brings. Yeah, with your head on my shoulder, my heads are spinning round and around. Yeah, I hear the sound of sweet funky music. Ow, even when there ain't no sound. Yeah, visions.
Hi, my name is Constance Means, and I listen to the Family
Gotta
Meeting.
get my fill
Save
on
Our
this.
Southland is who we represent, and you can find us at saveoursouthland@gmail.com.
My God, who was that?
That was Connie, man. I forgot hers was kind of long.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dr. Connie.
Dr. Connie.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I had to get my fill on the funk, man, since I couldn't get it in Ohio. Y'all disappointed me, Ohio. I thought y'all had the funk going on there, man. They were talking. I asked the Uber driver that I had. I asked him about the funk. He's like, yeah, Zapp and Roger Troutman and them built a bunch of houses over here. I ain't you about no houses, man. I ain't you about no houses.
Where the songs at?
Funk, man.
Where the songs? Man, mama, you know I'm a crack addict.
Come on, man.
Where the TV at, mama?
There's a real nice jazz place down. Ain't you about no jazz, player?
That's my boy Rich. Rich ain't here right now.
Oh, man. No jazz on some funk, man. Where the bass at, man?
Too funny.
Oh, Tressa.
Way too much.
Yeah. I don't have any idea how we live with these people after this is all said and done. Further, can you see in your mind's eye any scenario where this imbecile loses the election and he's on the dais, however you say that, on the inauguration day of the next president, sitting behind him peacefully? Can you see any scenario where he does that? Can you see that in your mind's eye?
I don't know what peacefully is, but I don't see him being.
I doubt he'll even show up.
Well, here's what I'm really going to be interested to see is the pomp and circumstance of when the newly elected president goes to the White House with their spouse and are greeted by the outgoing president. That to me is that's going to be an interesting one. He suffers a beat down from whomever.
That would require some level of humility and desire for order and peaceful transition.
And there's nobody.
I don't think is in that dude.
And it's not in him, and it's nobody in his circle that's going to say, "Hey, you need to do this." It ain't going to happen. No, it won't. Eric's right.
If you can't see it happening, then what does that day look like? The day he loses, the day that there's an inauguration.
I think it's sad that we even have to be having this conversation.
Ain't it crazy?
It's crazy. And
we even have to mutter that question and put that to people.
Even if he's reelected and it happens after the next election cycle, I just can't see it.
Yeah. No, I don't see it being peaceful at all. I think that there's a lot to be said for what Michael Cohen stated during his testimony. And I want to circle back to Representative Cummings. So there's a lot of things that people can say. I never met him. I followed him for years. But I got to tell y'all, the most amazing thing I saw was the way in which, like a father, like an uncle, a man of wisdom. Did you all see when Cohen was at that point when he was in front of the House Intelligence Committee, and it was about 8 minutes long, and Representative Cummings spoke to Michael Cohen like a father or an uncle would speak to his nephew who had just messed up in a big way. And it's where he talks about, you got caught up. He said, I've seen a lot of people get caught up, and he basically was giving him a certain level of compassion that you just don't see. Going back to what you said about being a great dude, Howard, man, y'all got to watch that. I've watched that a number of times since his passing. He showed Michael Cohen the compassion that a human being shows.
He's a better man.
Oh my God. He all but said to him, he said, dude,
I have nothing for people like that. It was good. He rode that train until the wheels fell off, and as long as it was benefiting him,
he was going to keep on riding it.
And that's to show he only stopped because
he got caught.
And that to me was the grace and dignity of.
Oh, now you want to come tell it.
But we would have been in that ass.
Yeah. Now you're contrite because you got busted.
Now you're contrite.
But Representative Cummings showed him compassion. I mean, it was amazing.
I love the man for it, but
I would have been like, yeah, dude. So you're the same cat that told us basically go stick it to ourselves. Yeah. But anyhow, not to get off.
Let me see what's on Pam's mind here. Hey, Pam, what's up, girl?
Hello.
Hey, Pam, how you doing?
Good afternoon. How are you all doing?
Happy to hear from you.
That's right.
Hey, listen, did the Bears lose yet?
I don't know, but okay. I hope so.
Yeah.
I know I shouldn't say that.
Why?
They got the wrong quarterback, and they've always had the wrong quarterback, so they need to lose every single game. I didn't even watch.
I'm like this until Kaepernick
they lost.
Playing. I don't care about the NFL until he is on somebody's team. I got issues with the NFL.
Yeah, I don't watch. I have not, honestly. I have not watched an NFL game this year at all.
So that's my.
Yeah.
I'm
What's
sorry,
on your
Pam.
mind today, Pam?
You all put so much on the table when we're listening, and I'm going to try to stay focused. I really am, but you all put some great things on the table. I wanted to just go national first with Trump. I saw Meet the Press. I got an opportunity to see that. And for me, this attack on Baghdadi was about the oil.
Mm-hmm.
And it is shameful that Trump would even bring it up. I mean, he just has no decorum. He doesn't have a filter. So let me talk about Trump supporters. At this point, for me, the Republican Party has transformed into a political hate group.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. If you're bold enough to come up to me with a MAGA hat or some other, and I call them maggots, Make America Great Again Trump supporters. I just call them maggots. But that's me. Because
Pam with the acronym today.
Man.
Go on, girl.
Listen, I agree with her.
Like it or not, at this point, I don't care, because we continue to try to work with them as, a Democratic Party. However, they continue to crush us. So you all talked about voting. I'm very concerned about election security. We don't know if China, Russia, Israel, we don't know who is going to try to come and interfere with this election. And Moscow Mitch is not trying to do anything about it. So I'm very concerned about voter suppression. And I agree with you all. The onus is on us. We have to be proactive, and we must get out and vote. But remember, in Michigan, they claimed 75,000 people, black people, came out to vote, but for some reason we didn't vote for president.
Right.
But we know that is a bold-faced lie, and the Republicans are the orchestrators of voter suppression.
That's what I meant, Pam, when I said the technological part of this, of us not showing up, quote, is those things there. So, but yeah, you're right on point.
And for Trump, he graduated from the Wharton School of Business, I think. They ought to be ashamed of themselves, and they ought to denounce him. We know he didn't complete any academic work. We know he didn't. He's not capable of it. So I'm not even impressed with that.
Yeah, his father paid for him to get that degree. We know that. We know that.
So Trump, I'm just at this point, Trump supporters, if you supported Trump, I don't care what your ethnicity
Amen.
is.
Say it, girl. Say
It's a problem for me, and it's a problem with you. Trump is a sexual predator.
Yeah.
He supported someone who was trolling for little girls and having sex with little girls.
He sure did.
And that doesn't bother you. 50% of the white women who support him, perhaps 13% of black men. You don't have a problem with that. You didn't have to vote Democratic, but for you to cast a vote for Trump, that says something about you. And if I may go local for one moment, guys, I want to make sure that we are still on point when it comes to the consent decree. I just attended a meeting, and if I just may leave a website so that people can make sure, because now the monitoring team is in place, we know that, and so we need to make sure that they are carrying out all the instructions from the federal judge about the consent decree, and I think there already has been one report issued that you can go on the website and take a look at. And if I just may, because the CPD...
Yeah, please do.
And the FOP, they're having some issues with this. And just to give you all a quick note, I was coming out of my garage, and I saw an SUV in the alley. So I decided I was just going to, turn the other direction. So as I started to pull off, I then saw lights flashing. So I realized it was a police vehicle. So as they said, I'm going faster so I can get out of the way. Unbeknownst to me, they were pulling me over. And then pulled right alongside of me, and then I rolled down my window, so the officer looked to be about in his 20s. What's up, sweetheart? Now, I wanted to say, I'm old enough to be your mother. What do you mean, what's up, sweetheart? I said, well, I'm getting out of your way. I saw your lights flashing. Oh. And then just proceeded to go, about their business. And I just thought, you know what, this has to be crazy. But I just want you, it's just things like that. And I could give you many more. But let me just give you the website.
Okay.
So this is CPD, and of course that's Chicago Police Department, monitoringteam.com. And I'll just repeat that. So it's CPD, monitoringteam.com.
Who's the creator of that website?
That is from the independent monitoring team. And the head of that team is Maggie Hickey. Hickey.
Who is she?
And their community engagement team said that they would be glad to come to anyone's meeting. They would be glad to do radio interviews because they've already outlined their key events and certain steps that they've already taken in the monitoring process. And I just think sometimes, I know we have so much going on in Chicago, particularly with this strike, that it gets buried. But I want to make sure, and this was held at Grace Memorial, guys, and it was Laquan McDonald's, his uncle, and that's Pastor Marvin Hunter, had this meeting just, I think that was Monday.
Okay,
So
and you were at the meeting?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
And I just want to make sure that we don't forget about this consent decree, because technically we're supposed to be seeing some difference in the way the police
Exactly. We are.
is engaging the community. That's what we're supposed to be. I can't tell.
But didn't the
that's what we're supposed to
DOJ
be seeing.
didn't the DOJ step into that? And
No, they
and
backed off.
That's what I mean. They backed off and said that they weren't going to enforce the consent
Exactly.
decree.
But we did have the federal judge, Judge
That still
Dow,
signed it,
who
right.
did enforce the consent decree. So we're in
Okay.
that monitoring period, and there are certain things, 799 paragraphs in the consent decree. So, and they're supposed to be following that, and we're supposed to be seeing some changes. And as I've said, the first report was already completed. So, but I would encourage everyone, please just take a look at that website, and maybe they'll even be willing to come on the radio.
I was just thinking that too, and I
please do.
and I appreciate you staying on top of it like you do, because like you said earlier, it's difficult to stay on top of all these things going on. If you wouldn't mind periodically keep us up on this stuff.
I sure would. And also, I want to certainly to make sure I acknowledge Laquan McDonald and the supporters, his family, and that's Pastor Marvin Hunter, and he'd be glad to come on as well.
Did you miss our show last week, Pam?
Give, just the mention of the people who are really involved and been on this. But I just wanted to share that with your audience, and great work. And those maggots, I don't have anything for them.
Did you catch our show last week, Pam?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that was all about Laquan.
I love it. I love it, and we've got to hold the police officers accountable.
Absolutely.
And I want the good officers to hold their criminal counterparts accountable.
Yeah,
that's right.
We appreciate you, Pam. Thank you.
Thanks, Pam.
Yeah, she is absolutely right.
She's right on it. She is.
Yep.
Staying on top of the thing. And it's right, it's difficult because you got the teachers wilding out now.
And you got so much going on. It's easy to get distracted, and you don't keep focus on those things. Matter. That consent decree matters.
Yeah, it definitely does.
It matters.
And I actually, to pivot a little bit, I heard some of the teachers or the union railing on Mayor Lightfoot.
Yeah.
She's only been in office for 5 months. This is stuff that Rahm Emanuel and Mayor Daley did that you're suffering from now. Don't put that on her.
So then they changed it and put a statement out and said, we're not, let's be clear, we're not mad at Mayor Lightfoot. No, we're mad at Mayor Rahm Emanuel. What was the one superintendent that stole all the money and somebody else?
Oh, yeah.
They said, we're not mad at her. We're mad at these guys for all of the decades of squander that they did. We're just PO'd at Mayor Lightfoot.
Yeah. Well, they need to let that go.
They
do.
do.
This is not a thing. Y'all need to get these kids back in school tomorrow.
And she's
Quit
offering
playing.
them. She's met them everywhere they wanted.
That's the report I'm hearing.
And they're not giving anything. They're not giving 1 inch.
Yeah.
It's starting to look like a show a little bit.
It's $38 million
and I got
right
that feeling
now.
being out of town.
Mayor said, I'll give you your $38 million, but I got to give it to you over 5 years. They said, now we want it in 3.
Yeah. All right. Wait, let's talk about that when we come back in. Stay tuned for more of the family meeting.
Hey, Ken Brown, KenBrownInternational.com. Keep listening to the family meeting.
A basic and essential part of any financial plan is savings. Most of whatever cash you have will be there because you put it there, not necessarily because of some fancy investment. Now with Save and Plan, Polaris has introduced a way for you to get empowering financial advice. Save and Plan is simple. Just sign up to save on a systematic monthly basis directly from your account and gain access to a planner and our planning services. Once you sign up to save, Polaris will help you develop a customized financial plan and give you a real person to speak with. Your dedicated planner is just an email or phone call away. Save and Plan offers empowering advice for everyone. Visit us at polarisadvice.com and call us today at 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. Save and Plan, empowering advice for everyone.
Securities offered through Lion Street Financial LLC, member FINRA and SIPC investment advisor services offered through Lion Street Advisors LLC, registered investment advisors. Polaris Wealth Management and Lion Street Financial are not affiliated.
The name of my business is Mrs. Indecent Exposure. We are an intimate aromatherapy, massage, bath, and body shop. We have the best aromatherapy, bath, and skincare products available. You can find us in Chicago and on the World Wide Web. We're located at 6916 West North Avenue in Chicago, 3 blocks east of Harlem Avenue, 773-417-3223. Mrs. Indecent Exposure, MRSNDEXPO.com.
This is Miss Lady B, La Boricua. Now it's time for the Family Meeting News.
I'm Teresa McDonald, and here are real news stories from real research that we are following here at the Family Meeting. You guys remember that story I reported on some time ago about the little 7-year-old boy that his mother wanted to turn him into a girl? Remember that? Well, a jury has ruled against the father who is trying to protect his 7-year-old son, James, from chemical castration via a gender transition. This boy is 7 years old. This means James's mother, Dr. Ann Gorgalas, will be able to continue transitioning him into Luna.
Are these black folks?
No, these white folks.
No, I thought.
And now has full authority to start him on puberty blockers and eventually cross-sex hormones.
That's the question we always ask first, don't we?
He's 7.
Are they black?
Yeah, that you know.
They can't be.
No.
Jeffrey Younger has been fighting for his son in Texas while the boy's mom has been determined to chemically change him to a girl. The jury came back and sided with the mother, who was on this jury. The judge will be issuing final rulings, and unless she makes some big changes, then Dr. Gorgalas will be allowed to mutilate the baby. Citing time constraints, the judge chose to limit the father's witnesses during the trial. Mr. Younger's attorneys were not able to call all of his side's witnesses due to time constraints. The jury heard from Dr. Gorgalas' witnesses on Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday, half of Thursday, and half of Friday. The jury heard from Mr. Younger's witnesses Monday morning and only half of Thursday. According to the Mayo Clinic, listen to this, y'all. Complications of feminizing hormone therapy might include blood clots, DVT, deep vein thrombosis, or a pulmonary embolism, lung blood clot, high triglycerides leading to high cholesterol, gallstones, weight gain, elevated liver functions, decreased libido, erectile dysfunction, infertility, high potassium, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes. You know what I'm talking about. Expert witnesses now testified to a child's inability to fully comprehend the potential side effects of such therapy, such as those things I just mentioned, and a decreased lifespan.
Creating a mass murderer.
Yeah, that's it.
The father is waiting on judges' final orders expected on Wednesday, but if nothing significant changes, who's going to stop this mom? Yep. And now here's Richard with Choose Views, sponsored by Employco.
Tressa, that's an amazing, crazy story. But listen, Choose Views this week. A little slant on my normal full-throated political comments on the views. My wife and I just got back from a week's vacation in Colorado and Southern California, as y'all know. And I made a bunch of observations along the way. And I mean, basically, Tressa, how people get around, how people look in society. And what I'm talking about is our physical health. America, we all have to do a better job of taking care of our health and that of those around us. I'll be the first to say that I eat my fair share of not perfect foods, and I love my weekly donuts here at WCPT. But let me make a point. I do watch what I eat as best I can and try to get to the gym 3 or 4 times a week. Carefully, I state this, Tressa. We all have to do a better job of watching what we eat. Eat in moderation, and most certainly get back to moving these wonderful bodies that we've been blessed with. And now that our weather here in Chicago is about to take a change and get progressively colder, it might be tempting for some of us to sit around, be sluggish, be less active. But come on, y'all, please don't let yourself slip into that mindset over the next 4 to 5 months. Come up with a plan to make sure that you don't put on those added pounds during the holiday season. Let's be honest, it's going to be filled with a lot of great eating and celebrating and all that stuff. So start your New Year's resolutions right now. Be healthy right now. Don't wait for January 2nd, 2020. If you have not been in to see the doctor in the past 18 months, come on, y'all. Because you feel fine, change your mind on that point. Set an appointment with your doctor before the end of this year and do it so that you have a great end of the year visit to the doctor. Like getting a great health bill at the end of the year would be a pretty cool way to go into 2020. I know that talking about health is always a touchy subject, but after the past week of being in the mountains and seeing the ocean, the Spirit moved me to speak about taking care of our collective health. We love y'all here at the family meeting, so be good to your health. This has been your Choose Views for October 27, 2019, and sponsored by Employco.
Thank you, Richard. Visit our website, tfmradioshow.com. And for all of you that watch us live, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for notifications, archived audio and video of the broadcast, as well as our much requested music playlist. Be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at TFM Radio Show, and on Instagram, The Family Meeting. The news today, my news, I don't know about Richard's news. No, the news today was brought to you by Identity Guard. Each year, millions of Americans fall victim to identity theft, but you can protect yourself by visiting lookaftermyid.com to sign up for as little as $6 a month. That's lookaftermyid.com. Do it now. I'm Teresa McDonald. This has been your Family Meeting News. Eric, Richard, and myself will be right back with more of the Family Meeting.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
Do you have a pain that won't cease? A health issue that's not getting better? It may be time you visited Health on Earth Wellness Centers. With over 20 years experience, 4 Chicagoland locations, and patients that range from 2 months old to 93, Health on Earth Wellness Centers are fully prepared to meet all your chiropractic needs. We have state-of-the-art facilities in Crestwood, Tinley Park, the South Loop, and Naperville. Don't let being healthy be your last resort. Make it your first choice. Make an appointment today at healthonearth.org. That's healthonearth.org.
Hey Chicago, it's time for you to make a difference in a child's life. AARP Foundation Corps is looking for volunteers to help kindergarten to 3rd graders read. You can do it. Here's how you can register. Call 877-926-8300. That's 877-926-8300. And reference AARP Foundation Experience Corps or visit www.aarp.org/eatchicago. It's time for you to help a child read.
Hi, this is Elise Ashby, and I listen to the Family Meeting.
Yeah, boy. Your boy Terrence asked for this one, man.
Go T.
What do you know about cameo down in Mississippi?
He don't know nothing about that.
But see, earlier, though, did you see earlier where Tara said, man, Eve, why you got to talk about Mississippi all the time?
You know why I talk about Mississippi? Because it's in Mississippi.
Terrence from the SIP.
That's all right, T. We got you, bro.
When Mississippi going to start carrying their weight in this country?
They trying, man.
I'm tired of paying for Mississippi.
They gerrymandered the yin-yang.
I'm tired.
Yeah. They still using record players down there.
Yeah.
Tired.
And remember back in the day, the Dewey Decimal System? They still got that rolling.
Abacus.
Slide rules and stuff.
Yeah, y'all. Let's see what's on people's on mind. I think I'll let Terrence hit this a little bit. Terrence has got it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you get that, Terrence? You
Get
got
up,
that?
Shake it, shake it.
Yeah, come on, man.
Come on,
Get out-
Terrence.
Get out on the front porch.
Yeah, you shake that thing now. You know Cameo is fighting now?
Over what?
Larry Blackman and the rest of the group are fighting over the rights to Cameo now.
Are they crazy? They got a
Yeah.
golden goose. and they
But
fighting
for
over it.
Larry Blackman, there would be no Cameo.
Yeah. Larry Blackman is the Maurice White of Cameo.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Them little fools need to sit there behind them.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, boy.
Wow.
They still put on a hell of a show when they come.
Yeah, they do.
That's
Yeah,
the
they
truth.
do.
Ow. There you go, Terrence. I gave you a big dose of that, man. Just
There it
because
is,
you,
man.
just 'cause you got to live in Mississippi don't mean you can't get listened.
That's right. We trying to take care of you up north.
Oh,
let me
my
let me
goodness.
see what's on Roosevelt's mind here. Roosevelt, what's up, man?
The Velt.
Emily, how you doing?
Good, man.
What's
How
up?
you?
Hey, did y'all hear about that umpire? I think. Can I mention his name?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
You can mention
Put him out there on Front Street,
put him
man.
on
Yeah.
Front Street.
Right. That's exactly what I was. Okay, Rob Drake, and this is what I quote. This is what he put down. He says, "I will be buying an AR-15 tomorrow because if you impeach my president this way, you will have another civil war."
This is a major league umpire.
He should be in
They
jail.
walk among us every single day.
Yep.
That's precisely my point. That's what came to mind when you Richard, were talking about they live among us.
Mm-hmm.
And why does this guy? My question is this: why does this guy have a job? How come this guy is not under
Exactly.
an FBI investigation?
Exactly.
And why does Colin
Kaepernick
why does Colin Kaepernick?
How does Mitch Trubisky have a job and Colin Kaepernick doesn't?
Yeah, just keep it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Roosevelt, I tweeted that back out this week when I saw that. I said, you know what? This guy, Colin Kaepernick.
I think you meant retweet. That's the term they use.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
They don't say tweeted that back out.
I read it. I
repackaged it and sent it out again.
Richard!
Okay.
Hey.
You're so damn country, man. You're so damn country. man.
Roosevelt, you know, I'm country on a lot of things, and I can't hide from that, man.
I sent it back out.
But you know what? Y'all should actually package that because that was kind of stupid.
That was
I'll admit that was kind of stupid. But Roosevelt, you're spot on, man. I mean, that's exactly right. Colin Kaepernick is doing something to help reduce violence in our country.
And this dude is inciting
And this dude is
violence.
inciting violence.
But see, Richard, to your point, we are living in an upside down world, and here's the thing: he is directly responsible for inciting violence and intimidation.
Yep.
I take that as a threat.
Yeah, I do
promise
too.
you, I take that as a threat.
If I saw him on the street, I'd be like, "Hey, man, arrest this
Yeah,
dude."
you just threatened me. You said you was gonna get an
A
AR-15.
civil war
Yeah,
and start a civil war.
Yeah, but what about all those Cub fans?
Thank you. Come on, girl.
What about all those Cub fans that keep supporting that group? And
on.
him, and tomorrow, Ricketts is hosting this fool for a fundraiser.
And a person asked me, "Why you're not a Cubs fan?" I said, "Because the owner sucks and he supports that president." That's you know
can't live with him.
No,
the stadium should be empty.
Man.
Yeah.
I'm talking to all of the black people that support the Cubs.
And
Come on now.
let's be honest.
Wait, let Roosevelt finish.
Sorry, Roosevelt.
He done set us off, Roosevelt.
Yeah.
And here's another thing too. I thought to myself, what way? He points out this way. Which way is that? Aren't they operating by the same rules that they set down back in 2015 when they were all Republican under Obama's presidency? Meaning they signed these laws. I mean these rules of how to operate investigations.
They did.
And as far as the investigations, well, isn't William Barr operating under secrecy? And what grounds does William Barr have of starting an investigations on the investigators after 17 different agencies, government agencies, pointed out that the Russians did
This is
interfere in our
Trump
elections?
weaponizing the DOJ.
And he is part-
weaponizing that.
And Roosevelt.
Yes.
And Tressa, this stunt that they pulled, these Republicans, this stunt is cooked up by Trump because it's so stupid.
Yep.
It's stupid. It smells like Trump. something Trump would do. And to my point, actually, he's going to direct people to do crazy things because he wants them to get. I think they
exactly.
If he can get congressional members to do this, and he puts out a rallying cry to his crazy ass followers, we got some things to be concerned about.
Start storming.
Good point, Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Good point.
Thank you.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah. Go ahead, man.
Did y'all see? Well, actually, two things. Did y'all see what Seth Meyers said about those white guys in the White House? I mean, in the that busted in there. See, he said that. Here, let's see if I can find it. He says they look like a bunch of 50-year-old white guys protesting outside a pharmacy because they ran out of Viagra.
This is outrageous.
Let us in. We have to get our stuff.
and Eric.
Yeah.
A little Chaka Khan back in the day, please. One of these days.
I rock Shock every once in a while. She ain't that funky, but she's good.
Yeah.
Man. Thank you, Roosevelt.
Thanks, Roosevelt. Have a great week.
My man. Let me get Richard calling from Waukegan. Richard, what's up, man?
Hi. Roosevelt talked about the Republicans coming down the stairway who went into the tried to get into the meeting or whatever. They reminded me of like a high school prank. That they were 50 years younger.
Thank you.
Yeah, good point, Richard.
It did have Trump's fingerprints all over it.
All over it.
All his he gave orders to all these guys, including Lindsey Graham. You got to get tougher and all that. So somebody sparked them, and then they all went down together. They didn't all get riled up at the same second.
Good point. Good point.
Whose idea was it to order pizzas?
I mean,
that's the main thing. That's the high school prank that they're bringing their pizza, probably some wine if they could get it in there legally.
Yeah, and from what I hear, they didn't clean up after themselves. They have pizza boxes on the floor. Nasty ass.
They've got something nearby, according to Tom Hartman. That's the Lincoln catapult, I believe, is nearby there. They store it there, and then the tomb for George Washington is nearby there. They don't have any respect. It's the tomb that George Washington was placed in.
Exactly.
Wait a minute, George Washington's tomb's down there?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
It doesn't occupy it, but it was made just for him. But it's unoccupied.
But just there,
I know the hearse that had Lincoln's body was down there too somewhere.
Yeah, the disrespectful display that they showed is totally unbecoming of any representative.
I would be
they
equally
were
disappointed
yeah.
if the Democrats
if a
had done
Democrat,
that.
I would have been equally
how
outraged.
Nonpartisan this thought process
And they point to an instance, and you'll like this, Richard. They point to an instance where the Democrats occupied the floor of the House, and I forget what it was over, but I know John Lewis was there.
They were sitting and praying, though.
Yeah, it wasn't.
They
didn't break
pizza.
into a secure
and then they didn't obstruct anything going on. They weren't. They just sat down on the House floor.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Richard, good point, man.
Thank you, Richard.
You're welcome.
Okay, see ya. Let me get it. You know what? I'm gonna get Adrian in here. Adrian, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, family?
Fantastic. How you, old drunk ass Adrian?
Man, you back? You back, man?
You got a dog barking back there with your drunk ass. What you want, man?
How y'all doing?
Hey, man, you just fed into it, Adrian.
It's hilarious.
His laugh is hilarious. That's a real.
That was about 3 phone calls back. I didn't know y'all was gonna call me this early.
That's how you know. That's how we know your ass is drunk, man. You weren't ready.
That Cavassier, man. Come on, get you some Cavassier, man.
Let me get another sip before I'm on the radio with Eric and them.
Adrian.
I gotta talk to y'all.
What?
You know what, man? Trump almost made me a Trump supporter this weekend.
Uh-oh.
What?
What'd he do?
Wait. This is going to be good.
Yeah.
This is going to be good.
That dude was talking about that wall in Colorado. Hold on. Hang in there with me. That dude was talking about that wall, and that dude started channeling George Clinton.
Yeah.
That brother said, it's so big, you can't get on Oh, Lord. Get under it. Dude, that's it.
Oh, my God.
Hey, man, Adrian.
Trump 2020.
Adrian, hey man, I was in Denver and LA this past week, and when I heard that, I was like, thank God I wasn't driving because I would have run off into the mountains, man. I thought you gotta be kidding me,
my drink.
man. Spill that Courvoisier. You and Tim Meadows.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Adrian, you're right. That was hilarious. That was hilarious.
That was hysterical. So, but now on to serious and silly matters. So y'all saw this nonsense. I don't know if you saw it. Candace Owens supposedly got booted off of social media for saying some platform for saying that Democratic policies foster fatherless homes.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah, see, Now, the only reason I know about this is because I got a buddy I served with in the Navy. He's a Republican. He leans really, really right. But he actually refers to Trump as an idiot when I bring him up. So he has some integrity. But anyway, he still believes a lot of other nonsense. So I heard about this through him where he had some post about this. And so I said, okay, I'll play along. Which policies specifically, Democratic policies specifically, lead to fatherless homes? And he gave me a string of 7 references that he thought supported his argument. And every one of them was nothing more than a study or some write-up about the effects on children of fatherless homes. So I was like, where's the policy, though? So I flipped back at him, and there's information out there about how blacks were denied. What was that? It was called the adult. No. It was called it's called the ADL or ADC. I forget, and it stands for Assistance to Dependent Children. That's what welfare started as back out in the 30s. So anyway, back in the 30s and into the mid 30s is where you can see where that aid was denied to single black women, while single white poor women were able to get assistance in this country, while poor blacks were denied it. And welfare wasn't even an issue of disdain for them until black folks started to become able to get those benefits.
Exactly.
Oh, sure. I mean,
that's always the case. If it's a problem, if we have it, it's never a problem if they have it.
Right.
It's never a problem. So, and I was just thinking about what Trust was talking about, how this dude was talking about we don't vote and this, that, and the other, and whatever. And it's just like, when you just stop them, like the 50% thing, right?
Yeah.
It struck me because I had a guy, I was having a conversation with some other people in this political, and a guy from another table in a bar decided to dip in our conversation and start talking about, well, you have 50% of this. And I was like, hold on, stop. White dude telling me about black people, 50%. I was like, okay, so where'd you get that number? And he looked at me. I said, yeah, you just quoted me that 50% of this. What study did you read that you are quoting this to me that's the number? He didn't have an answer. And it's like Richard said, y'all said, they don't have answers.
No, they don't.
It's that little bit of nonsense that they learn from some crack pot spewing some junk, and they just repeat it and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, and it has no foundation at all.
So you say you heard this in a bar, did you?
Were they serving Courvoisier, man?
You were in a bar when you heard that, Adrian?
It's all right, man. Admit to your love.
With your drunk ass, you was in a bar, man?
Adrian, admit to your love, brother. Don't hide from it, man.
Adrian.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, man.
Me and my wife went out for dinner, and her cousins, who were younger than us, like dragging us around late at night. So they wanted to have another little drink on the way home.
Oh, they did.
And you
we just stopped in with them and had another drink.
Might as well. Might as well, right? Go ahead. Right.
You know what it is? Hey, if it's Sunday and the Sunday meeting is on, the family meeting is on, you know what I feel.
Oh, drunk ass Adrian. All right, man. Have a good one, man.
Thanks, Adrian.
Thank you,
Have a great
Adrian.
week, man.
I love old drunk ass Adrian.
Oh, my God.
We should put together a black version of Andy Griffith's show.
Yeah.
Like the Tyrone Griffith
He's
show.
going to be
and he can be
Otis.
Let himself in jail.
That would
I
probably.
love it.
All right, y'all. Stay tuned for more of the Family Meeting.
Sunday
This is Paul Mark Wallace, president of InSync Consulting Services. Our website is www.insynccs.com. Keep listening to The Family Meeting.
Make a smart financial move for retirement. Make your retirement money into an IRA. Schedule income. Support your dream. Explore investment options. Gain full control over your money. Give the money a chance for additional tax-deferred growth. How do you start? Call Polaris Wealth Management, the resource for IRA rollovers. Call 312-951-2606 or email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. Polaris Wealth Management is the resource for IRA rollovers. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. We help new retirees plan to protect their money. Securities offered through Lion Street Financial LLC. Member of Fine SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Lion Street Advisors LLC. Polaris Wealth Management and Lion Street are not affiliated.
Is your child prepared for the school year? Getting started early means a better chance of getting ahead. Masters Plus Tutoring in Homewood is the program that works. No matter what your child needs to prepare for the coming academic year, better study habits, organizational skills, or time management, Masters Plus can help. In fact, they tutor students in all subjects from kindergarten through college. Perhaps ACT, SAT, or Catholic high school prep are in order. Just visit mptutors.com and request a consultation. All sessions are taught by certified instructors in a private one-to-one setting to ensure each student receives individualized instruction. Whether your child is at a basic level or reaching for advanced placement, Masters Plus Tutoring can help. Call 708-798-8400 or visit them on the web at mptutors.com. Mention WCPT and you'll receive a $25 tuition credit with a purchase of 4 hours or more. That's mptutors.com.
Hey, this is Stephanie Miller. Be sure to tune in to my show Monday through Friday, 8 to 11 a.m. But right now, keep listening to The Family Meeting on Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT, AM and FM.
You don't know nothing about this more bounce now, do you?
Oh, please, man. Freshman year Pepperdine, y'all. I even had him.
I had a flashback for a minute. I was on the roller skating rink, boy.
Ooh, you know about no roller skating.
Wait, I used to put the speaker in my dorm window and put this on and then go outside. That's how country I was.
What you know about roller skating, man?
I used to roller skate.
Did you go roller skating?
I still
or were
have,
you roller skating?
No, I was actually out there getting it in.
You don't know nothing
Yes,
about
I do. Yes, I do.
You're like my man Earl with your little wooden skating wheel, man. You don't know. No, you're looking at a dude who skates now.
I still have my original roller skates.
That's the problem.
I'm not going to lie. I wasn't that good at
They're
it.
like 50 years old now?
They old, but that's all right. They still roll. I can still grease up my ball bearings. I still have the little ball bearings.
We don't really use grease anymore.
Well, mine do. My skates are old. So
She's admitted to it.
I told you I did. I ain't running from it. My original skates, they were white.
Tressa, I could skate
no stopper
forward
on the front. No stopper.
Oh, then the dance plugs? You got dance plugs?
And even I loosened up the wheels so the wheels can have a little play in them. Oh, yeah.
You got a jump bar, too? A little jump bar? You can do that? Yeah.
Come on now.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I couldn't skate backwards. I could skate forward like a dog. But backwards, if there were a backwards skating race, I just sit on the sidelines.
I remember when I first learned how to skate backwards, that one leg would be stationary and then the other leg would be doing like this.
Yeah, wobbling, yeah.
It's the same reason I can't line dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, let's finish off some of these calls here. Let's get this. No, fuck.
Just go.
Okay. It's time to go. Yeah, okay, I know. Let's get Eduardo in here, man. Eduardo, what's up, man?
Hey, good afternoon. Yes, let me make a couple points here. The Turkey thing where they say they're guarding the oil fields, there's 50 nukes in that area, so that could be like a smoke screen.
Yeah.
They trying to get their property back, ain't they, Eduardo?
How do we know this? We're not supposed to know where nukes are we?
Well, apparently somebody does. Somebody's whispering to some reporters. But yeah, hopefully.
That's a really dangerous thing to talk about. If you know where nukes are, you ain't supposed to say that.
ICBMs, they're
Mr.
there.
Erdogan is a pretty ambitious guy, and he couldn't miss out a chance to kind of like push Mr. Reality to one side and kind of embarrass him.
It's exactly what's
Wait a
going
minute.
on.
Wait a minute. They store the nukes near the oil fields?
I'm not sure about that, but they're in Turkey. I don't know if they're near the oil fields, but that could be like.
This goes
I'm
back.
sorry. I'm thinking about
You tell the
Syria.
media so you don't, have a media panic or crash the market.
Well, Edward,
whatever.
to your point, we've had nukes there. We've had nukes there since the Kennedy administration.
Yeah, but
that was
you
a
see
whole
where-
negotiating piece that we used. I'm sorry, Tressa. That was a whole negotiating piece we used with Russia during the Cuban
leave
Missile
nukes.
Crisis,
right?
To leave nukes there.
To leave them there, but for it to be known that they see. If you watch the movie 13 Days in October, it talks about we had those nukes there as a deterrent for Russia. Russia's play was we're going to put nukes close to the U.S. That's why they were putting nukes into Cuba.
Cuba, right.
So the negotiation was we want it to be known that we have the ability to destroy you as quickly as you destroy us because of our nukes in Turkey.
Right.
They've been there for 50 years.
That whole notion of destroying everybody.
It's just crazy.
It
It's
is.
just crazy.
Who's the idiot who said, hey, I have an idea.
Let's destroy each other.
Just kill everybody. Yeah.
Hey, can I mention something quickly on congressional side? It's looking pretty bad right now, financially wise, as far as raising money on the Senate side. This Kelly guy in Arizona, he's the former astronaut. He was married to the Giffords lady.
Oh, man,
Going up
really?
against McSally. McSally couldn't even beat Sinema. I mean, she had to get appointed to the seat. Now she's going up against Kelly, and I hear he's out raising her way.
Oh, he's out raising
Oh,
her.
I thought you were saying he was a problem.
No. That the Republic. Your point, if I'm hearing you,
It's too bad that we have to measure the success of a campaign based on financial wherewithal.
Well, that goes back to what your question earlier about what
Yeah,
makes a
it's just-
person
it makes
ugly.
it makes the people become distasteful when money becomes the measure for their success.
Yeah, or what they're
It depends
raising.
on how they use the money.
Well, that's true too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eduardo,
Man,
you're not sitting at home drinking today, are you?
I'm about to have dinner, but I just got a text from my work to be ready for Darth Vader's arrival.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't even think you'll get a chance to get into the city.
You know what? I have a strong feeling.
He's gonna cut and run
Yeah,
again.
he gonna cut and run.
Chicago don't play.
They ain't gonna let him in. They
Hey.
just ain't gonna let him in.
Hey man, listen though. I will.
It's gonna be treacherous. For
I
him.
will say
Yeah.
this to you: if you got that
They're gonna
text,
shut downtown down.
Eduardo, you be extraordinarily safe tomorrow in
Please.
your comings and goings.
Please.
Don't mess around.
Yeah, well, I'm by the Aon building, so I think, okay, I know they're going to go by the Trump Tower and McCormick's ways up, but
Yeah.
I think it'll be safe.
If he's smart, if he does come, he better get in and get out.
Yeah, just stay
That's
at the
it.
airport, have a press conference, and leave.
He ain't gonna drive though.
That
He's probably gonna
includes
be on a
Mr. Ricketts,
helicopter.
too.
He's gonna be on a
That includes
helicopter.
for Mr. Ricketts, too.
Mr. Ricketts too, exactly. I'm telling you, all you Cub fans out here, y'all contributing
If
to
you're
this mess.
if you're black
Right,
and
go
Hispanic,
Sox.
Hey, man.
Gold Sox. Thank
That's
you.
right. There
Thank
you
you,
go.
Eduardo.
Thanks,
man. Have a
Everybody.
great
Appreciate
week.
you. Yeah, y'all contributing to this mess. All you Cub fans.
Hey,
Let
man,
me see a Cub
if you,
shirt.
If you're black, I don't care how much you like baseball, and you're or Hispanic,
Roaches and Raid. I'm
and
telling
you follow the Cubs, you get
Mm.
season tickets, you get enthusiastic about going.
Oh,
No, I'm sorry. I mean,
this is not the Cubs organization that it
No.
was when our grandfathers loved the Cubs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because my grandfather loved, my daddy loved.
My
the
dad
Cubs.
did too. He liked both the Cubs
But
and the
these
Sox.
Rickards,
but
this Rickards
no,
family,
I don't even
they
like-
are embedded.
I don't
in,
see Tressa. I don't watch this past week with this umpire thing. I mean, I
Yeah.
took that personally because everybody's running around talking about black folks this, black folks that, Hispanics this.
Yep.
They're the threat. We need to be afraid of them. They're this, that, and the other. Meanwhile, we have a dude who is paid extraordinarily well.
Yeah.
Got all the benefits in the world.
Yep.
All the access in the world, all the privilege of being a white man in the world,
Yep.
and he's threatening civil war and violence. The fact that the major league, be damned, the umpires union
Yeah.
had to even take a breath
Hello.
about firing him over that is it's not even beyond thinking. It's just screw the MLB. I could care less about Major League Baseball now.
Yeah, I didn't care anyway. I don't even watch baseball.
I don't either.
Yeah, that's just like Clint Eastwood. I will admit,
I ain't going to see. I would see. I ain't seen another since he did that to the chair.
Love
Nope,
that man.
not anymore.
Clint Eastwood.
Oh man,
not
his
anymore.
Hang 'em High.
Oh, I like High Plains
Good,
Drifter.
the bag.
Yeah.
Good,
He was
all
black
of that.
in High Plains Drifter.
He was.
Played a black man.
He was. He did.
Yeah.
And you got to give it up on that. But you know
seeing
what?
him now
And Josie
knowing
Wales?
what-
Yeah,
yeah,
I love
outlaw Josie Wales.
And that's what's troubling about that with Clint. I was like, dude, who slipped you a Mickey?
Seeing
Because
all what he's going through
doesn't
now.
he? Wait, but Tressa, doesn't he understand that the people
It was the black folk.
that got behind Clint when he was struggling
Was
guess
us.
who it was?
It was
us. Black folks in the theater,
It was
and he
us.
had the nerve to talk to a chair
Mhm.
and disrespect President Obama. I was
President
like, you know what,
Obama.
Clint, you done, dude. You lost
Yeah.
your black card.
Yeah.
Done.
He was black though. In
He
High Plains
was.
Drifter.
I'm with you,
He
bro.
was black.
I'm with you. And even in the movie,
It
the
made
Gauntlet,
me
even
rethink
in the
every
Gauntlet,
time I supported him. I've regretted.
I
every
don't
time
regret. I
supported
don't
him.
regret having supported him because he was down at one point. He was down. I followed Clint when I was in
Yeah,
California.
but what happened?
Listen,
the
I
changes.
think we need to be careful though about singling out these imbeciles because I think the
They
danger.
single themselves out.
Yeah,
we
they
don't have
did.
to do
No.
that.
Listen, what I'm saying. Though. I mean, I think what we need to focus on is the collective body of
Okay,
them.
I got you.
Okay,
I got
fair
you.
enough.
Because you can get caught up in the
Yeah,
individual
that's true.
person
Very true.
and pick them
Or an
apart.
individual action and not see
Very
the
true.
bigger.
You got to break up the mob somehow.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
Yeah.
make them, even if it's to make them scatter back off into the woods, wherever they were hiding.
Agreed.
'Cause
Go
this
back in
ain't
the hill.
new.
No,
Agreed.
it's not
They're
new.
just showing themselves now.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, unless you want to pick on Clint some more, he was black in High Plains Drifter.
And in the
Black
Gauntlet.
man.
And in the Gauntlet. You know,
No, what was that one? Go ahead, make my day.
Dirty Harry.
Oh man. Oh
That
man.
big ass gun.
Come on.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and the thing about
He stole from black people like Elvis stole from
Yes,
black
he
people.
did. Yes, he did.
He did.
Yes, he did. And made us feel like he was one of us. That's what he did. But he
Go
was
ahead.
he
Go
was
ahead, player.
he was tricking us all.
All he
that
didn't add
time.
was play in there. Go ahead, player. Make my day.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
and he probably
Keep playing.
Do you
and,
feel
and,
lucky?
and he got that. He got
Well,
that.
do you?
Let's be honest. He got that rhythm from the black acts that he was working with back in the day.
Very
The stuntmen.
true.
I mean,
Very
you know,
true.
and that's why I was down with Clint until he decided to show his behind.
I'm still down with High Plains Drifter. Every time it come on, I watch.
And I have to admit, I do like Gauntlet, and I do like $1 Million Baby. Still.
I like $1 Million Baby. Yeah.
And he said it then.
I did not like $1 Million Baby.
Yeah.
because
I just didn't.
I like
Yeah.
$1 Million Baby.
it was a tough movie to watch.
It was
I mean,
very
let's just be honest.
And then what was the one where he was helping the kids. They were breaking in the neighborhood.
oh,
They were
the vehicle name.
you know what I'm talking about.
It's a
Toro.
Toro.
I don't
Gran
Gran
Torino.
Torino.
Gran
I
Torino.
ain't never watched the movies of him being like older. I've always watched the ones he was younger.
Well, he was really. I mean, I called it when I saw $1 Million Baby. I said this movie is going to get nominated in all categories,
Yeah.
and it
Well,
won. What, 4
It did.
of them?
It
It's hard
won.
for me to find a movie that got nominated that I liked.
I mean,
I'm
of
sorry,
his
that,
or
that
just,
one. That one, I mean.
Oh, okay.
Usually when they come around to the award ceremonies for these movies,
Yeah.
they talk about movies I never even heard of sometimes.
Well, it's become that for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't watched it, and that's another.
Well, it's because there's so much more content now that you can't possibly
take it all in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, you want to say something?
No.
Nope.
Oh,
No.
Okay.
I'm biting my tongue because you got.
Let's see what's on Tom's mind. Tom, what's up, man?
You know, I often wonder what will it take, and I say this because there's certain parameters that never change. When you begin to talk about the school system in the city of Chicago, it has never changed. The teachers always talked about overcrowded classrooms, under-resourced, these programs that they came out that was definitely meant to make sure that black kids did not get what they were supposed to get. And then when you look at that parameter and you say, okay, schools crumbling, roaches and rats running around, and nobody seemed to have a clear understanding that, hey, you know what? At some point you got to ask yourself, when is enough enough? When you begin to look at the parameter of the moral value and you start to talk about children, you stop and you say, wait a minute, a child is a child no matter what color they may be. So how can kids in Sandy Hook die?
How can kids in the urban city die? How can babies be snatched? How can all of these things go? And then you end up with a Donald Trump. And when you end up with a Donald Trump and the realities of the moral values of individuals that is encircled around the almighty dollar. I told you from the very first day that this man went into the office that it would be about the money. And that's all it's about. The reason why they protect him is because of the money. You look at Nunes, so-called financed winery that from Russia. Look at all the stuff that's going on with this guy, man. That's all come back to money and Russia. I mean, how long does it take for a moral-minded individual to come to a conclusion to simply say, now, wait a minute, if it's only 30% of the so-called, if his so-called base is supposed to be 30, then what the hell is the other 70% of people doing? They can't all be drunk like Adrian. Hell, Adrian, send me a six-pack, man. Let me join the crowd, man. I keep waking up in a cold sweat saying, damn, what is going on? So I just want to close with this one because this is the best one of all. And it simply goes a little bit like this. So they tell the American people that there are certain criteria in which we must look at and be absolutely clear about. That this so-called intelligence thing has a cubicle, a thing called a skiff. A skiff where only certain individuals can come in. And the reason why only certain individuals can come in because they got security all around the outside to make sure that just Joe Blow just don't come walking into the skiff. Well, how the hell secure can it be if 30 people who ain't even on the roll call could just walk down there and order pizza and holler and scream for 5 hours? I mean, I just want to ask you people a simple question. At what point are you going to recognize that sooner or later there's going to be a harvest for the world? And by that time, Tommy is going to been and caught up with Bin Laden because nobody seems to know where he is, and Abu Babu Boo Boo, whoever they blew up in the tunnels or whatever it is they're doing. Everything has this nice, neat package which simply said, how damn dumb can you be? Keep listening to the family meeting. Tommy don't feel well today because ain't no more windows to break out. Everybody's moved off of the neighborhood. I got the whole almost 2 miles to myself now. So I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. Maybe I'll come by oh, hold on. Maybe I'll come where you live. Maybe you'll like to see me over there. All right. Goodbye. Goodbye.
I didn't know that Tommy's running around like Ernest T. Bass busting windows.
Busting windows. Yeah.
In the neighborhood, man.
One to get thrown in.
Right. That was one of my favorite episodes of Andy Griffith, by the way. Ernest T., quit busting them windows.
Every now and again, Eric will, it just, I go, wow. He'll make a reference to the black and white TV shows from the late 60s and 70s. He maybe almost spit on my food one day. He was talking about, he's like, these Republicans are crazy. They're like Lucy and Ethel in the chocolate factory. I thought, where did that come from?
Baby.
Ernest T., quit busting them windows.
Ernest T. Bass. That was all. I'm with you. Every episode that Ernest T. Bass was on, I had to watch it.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
If he wasn't on that episode, I really had no interest in watching it.
I know. He's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Gomer was pretty funny too, though.
He was, and everybody had an Aunt B. I mean, Aunt B could have been any black actress at the time.
Could have been.
Everybody had an Aunt B.
Yeah.
Could have been. Yeah.
All right, y'all. Stay tuned for more of the family meeting.
Hi, this is Tommy Nelson. Visit me at A Custom Cabinet Design, Facebook.com. Keep listening to the family meeting.
The name of my business is Mrs. Indecent Exposure. We are an intimate aromatherapy, massage, bath, and body shop. We have the best aromatherapy, bath, and skincare products available. You can find us in Chicago and on the World Wide Web. We're located at 6916 West North Avenue in Chicago, 3 blocks east of Harlem Avenue. 773-417-3223. Mrs. Indecent Exposure, MRSNDEXPO.com.
A 2016 study estimates that 13.1 million Americans were victims of identity theft that year. Fight back against identity theft by signing up for Identity Guard. Identity Guard monitors your credit and identity information with alerts that can help you respond quickly if certain changes indicating fraudulent activity are detected, as well as help protect your computer from viruses, keylogging, and other serious threats. Plus, with Identity Guard's dynamic credit management resources and tools, you will have helpful information as you make better financial and credit decisions. Identity Guard includes $1 million identity theft insurance and lost wallet protection, and more if you ever do become a victim. Protect your ID by visiting lookaftermyid.com. That's lookaftermyid.com to securely sign up for Identity Guard today.
This is Susan Manuel, www.ablconsulting.net. Welcome back to the family meeting.
Had to drop a little punk funk on y'all today.
Yeah, heard him in the car when we up Cali. Hey man, so T Hudgens is talking about.
By the way, if you hear us talking about people talking, we're referencing YouTube. By the way, there's an ongoing conversation on YouTube that you may or may not be privy to. I would encourage you to go to YouTube and see what's going on.
Yes.
I don't know if I think I can embed the conversation in our webpage. I'll give that a shot this week if I get time.
Cool.
But anyway, sorry.
No. I was only saying he was talking about sports, not watching Major League Baseball or football or professional sports, and one of his breaking points was the Tiger Woods fiasco. And here's my stand on that. I'm a fan of Tiger's golf prowess. Some of his other decisions I'm not particularly a follower of. And I can bifurcate that. But to T's point, Tiger got a taste of once he started getting close to, quote unquote, the holy grail of Jack Nicklaus's.
They reminded him that he was still black.
He's still that word.
You could say that about almost everybody, because I could say the same thing about Bill Cosby.
Oh, sure. It's true. It's absolutely true. Yeah. Bill, Tiger, even Michael. I mean, when Michael was
I could say the same thing about Devin or Paul. Where you guys at? I don't like everything they do. They're my guys, though.
Right.
Right.
But no, I'm saying
I don't like everything Trusted does.
But I'm saying
like when you barge in the damn room when I'm trying to relax.
Yes, face all full of stuff. But no, the add on to that is those are people that as they got close to the flame, Icarus
singed a little bit.
They got singed and they got reminded and they forgot. I mean, James Brown says it in the Muhammad Ali When We Were Kings documentary that Spike did. James Brown's talking about how too many times brothers, this is 1974, too many times brothers get out there on that plank not realizing that the people that are going to pull the plank don't like you and there's sharks down below. This is and so but again, I want to circle back to the NFL and the MLB.
Why you want to circle back to that?
All right, I'll stop.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if we're going to do anything, we need to begin to try to add the NBA to that list because of this whole thing going on in China
with Hong Kong. Yep.
Yeah. And so, and especially your boy LeBron, who's like, right,
dude. I was surprised at that. I really was.
I mean, they had held
because it's impacting his shoe sales over in China.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Pay attention, brother.
Yeah.
Pay attention to everything. Now, listen, I'm willing to give LeBron the benefit of the doubt. I think he wasn't fully read in on what Hong Kong is.
Right.
Remember the cat, high school education. That doesn't make him stupid.
No.
But maybe he's just not read in.
Yeah, but hasn't he seen enough to know that you don't open your mouth unless you know?
I don't know, but based on
all of these platforms being given to all of these people who are not using their platforms for positivity and good, you're seeing what's happening to them. A lot of them are taking that plank walk that he's talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And back to homecoming. We had at Howard University, we had 2 top 10 basketball recruits visit Howard.
Sure did.
And since their visit to Howard, they've been indicating that they probably want to go to Howard.
They want to go to Howard.
One of them is a 7-foot point guard. I sat there and watched him in the gym.
Point guard, 7 foot.
7 foot. I mean, he's an NBA ready player. He's like, yo, man, I think I'm gonna come to Howard. It doesn't make a difference, right? So as soon as he starts talking like that, the NCAA starts to investigate.
Sure did.
They start running up legal bills at Howard University.
Yeah.
There's a guy named Josh. This is a kid in California, a point guard. This kid can jump. He can jump over the damn backboard. Same thing. He's talking about coming to Howard. Wait a minute. What's going on? You must be cheating. Is immediately their assumption. So these are young brothers who see, and this is born out of the whole thing with Colin Kaepernick.
Yep.
They see what's going on, and they say, listen, I'm going to go to a black college. I'm going to let them enjoy the benefits of my athletic prowess.
Yes.
And this is
why should I let
look?
They're read in for some reason. LeBron either isn't or he's got a position that is untenable.
Well, and to that end, I mean, this is one of those moments where LeBron, you know how you said a while back, Eric, that there's not a question that Nancy Pelosi shouldn't be ready for.
Absolutely.
And in this case, LeBron being the voice of the NBA from a
He wasn't
player
ready.
standpoint,
He wasn't ready.
should have been ready. Because I think had he been fully ready, he would have presented that a little bit differently.
He needs to come back and show me something. Otherwise, he's on the other side of the fence for me.
He's got to clean that up. And he got to clean it up the right way, not after a game. He needs to. This is where he would show his power. I'm always there's some theatrics to this, but this is where he would show his power. He'd say, "I'm calling a press conference. I'm gonna clean this up."
Yeah.
If he did that, then it would be no question about where he stands.
Yeah. See, there's something unmistakable that these young black men need that they can only get at a black college. I watched that young man that you're talking about as he was on campus that whole weekend.
His eyes lit up.
It lit up. And as he walked around, people just treated him like family. You know,
Right.
like one of the people. You could
They weren't running up on him trying to figure out what they could get from him.
Not only that, but you can't miss him. He's 7 feet tall. You cannot miss him.
Right.
But when he was there, he was just on Howard's campus enjoying like everybody else was. Wasn't people, like you said, people weren't running up to him and he was just mingling. He walked past me, walked down and grabbed him a seat, caught the game and stuff. And everybody around him was enjoying it. Wasn't nobody talking, hey man, so what you think about this? And
That's what
he
makes
was
us
just
stronger.
Being able to be himself.
Because you get to be comfortable. You don't have to. We're not tap dancing.
Exactly.
And
we that's
get
the
to be
one
comfortable.
thing that he probably figured out. I can come here, do my job without all of those other distractions that I'm going to have to face
Right.
at another college.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Back in the day when Rasheed Wallace was still in high school, he had considered Howard. And the weekend he was supposed to visit Howard, University of North Carolina sent a jet to Philadelphia.
To pick him up.
Because they don't want nobody to set foot on Howard's campus.
Yeah.
Because then all of a sudden, so these kids are going to go visit other schools. I mean, they're going into their senior season in basketball. They're going to visit other schools along the way.
Of course.
But the dichotomy that they're going to see after visiting Howard and these other schools, I mean, the equipment's going to be better. The gyms are going to be bigger. The floors are going to be cleaner. But they're not going to get what they saw on the yard.
Nope. Listen, man. Look. Hold up for a second. My wife is white. She was on. We walked through. Hold up.
White?
When did that happen?
I don't know. I came home one day and was like, damn. We walked through the arts building. Now we had been around. Been to the game, enjoyed the game, and a little football fan. She's like, getting her cheers in.
We had nothing to cheer about in that game.
Well, she was a little
early.
First
half was excellent.
But let's just be real, y'all. We walked through the arts building. They come through to the other side, to the yard. Went over to the right at about 1:00. There's a tree area there. We thought we might get some seats in. We saw you. You remember?
By Douglas Hall, yeah.
Just barely. You saw where we were. We talked to you for a minute. We waiting for E and Tiff. And Ann said, well, let's walk around and check out some stuff because, we got to stay on time. I said, okay, cool. We're walking around. Ann said this, y'all. I have never in my life seen anything like this.
And this, by the way, just to put some texture to that, are large groups of black people loving on each other.
Just love.
Yeah. Everybody having a good time. There's
no threat of any fights or any gunplay or none of that stuff.
And the vendors were like, well, welcoming to her. They didn't single her out as like this white chick that was there. They just were like, hey, one brother took her behind the back where all his other good stuff was because she was looking for a specific picture, and he helped her find it. It wasn't even packaged up, Tressa. So that love was extended to her.
The baddest person on the drum line. After the game was over and the band came through and they did their thing, the white boy was the bad. Oh, he was boom.
He was putting it down.
He was killing it.
When we came back over and was like, wow. And I went,
white boy on the drums was killing
it. He was killing it.
White boy on the cymbals was killing it. He was rocking,
but
boy.
That's the nature of it. It's not just Howard. It's the nature.
I know it is. I know it is.
North Carolina A&T, they try to say that their homecoming is as good as Howard's. Y'all can kick rocks. But they had theirs this weekend, and I saw all the pictures, and people, it's the same. You can see the same experience.
Yeah. White people really listen, and when we say white people, we're not singling out anybody. It's just y'all skin is a little bit lighter than ours, okay? So my thing is this. You really are missing an opportunity to get to know good people when you distance yourself from getting to know African Americans. We are full of flavor. We are full of life. We are full of rhythm. Laughter.
Big
love.
Wait, humanity.
Humanity.
And like I said about Representative Cummings, that's what black men are all about.
That's
what he
us.
did with Michael Cohen's trial, that's who black men are. I mean, Tressa, and that's Tressa's point should be taken by everybody. We have been for literally centuries.
We mean you no harm. We just
most
want
of the time.
Fair shot.
Most of the time.
Well, if that person that does mean some harm, if he or she had been given a fair shot, maybe they wouldn't have the mindset.
I think I would say we don't mean you any more harm than anybody else.
No, exactly.
Right. And if anything, we welcome you to a little bit of added comfort.
We want you to come to the cookout.
Yeah, show up, please.
Don't bring no potato salad with raisins in it.
If you do, just
Don't
know
do
that
that.
it's going to get put down at the other end of the
That's
table.
what Chad said.
You're going to end up taking that home
You
with
can take that home with you, and that's
Chad
okay.
Rick had me hollering when he said that.
Yeah, I mean,
He's the type that'll make some potato salad, put some raisins in it.
yeah, I mean, it's just.
We don't mean any harm. We don't mean any disrespect. And certainly, if we were ever to be in power, we wouldn't do y'all the way y'all did us.
Don't be so sure now.
We would.
No,
man, white slavery is on if I'm in charge, man. I'm telling you, man.
Don't believe it.
Believe it, man. I'm telling you, man. You a slave now, man. You better get in the yard. You're going to get whooped.
Better get over here.
We would not do that.
Go dig a hole or something.
No,
You're
we
going
would not do that.
Let me see you not busy in my yard.
No.
I'm telling you.
It's my position that we'd be a better society.
I know we would be.
I think we'd be a better global
I know
society,
we would be.
and our environment would not be suffering as much as
You know
it
what,
is.
though? I think that the true answer is, set race aside, we need to put more women in charge.
Heck yeah. Yeah, that's an easy one. I was at
Easier to accomplish.
It really is.
Yeah.
We got to kick some. I said this a few months ago that the problem is we got too many people still holding on that don't need to be in positions of power or influence. We need to kick them to the curb.
Yeah. Somewhere we need to lose this notion that men do it better than women.
Well, trust me, I've said
when it
this
comes to that part
I've said
of
this
it.
for a long time, a decade and a half. Name me 2 women, white or black, Hispanic, whatever, that have wrecked companies. Name me 2 women.
With that woman who ran from New Jersey, who ran for president.
She wasn't from New Jersey.
Carly
Fiorina did.
She ran a company into the ditch.
She did. Okay.
It was like, it was in the ditch, man.
The airbags didn't even work on that one. That joint.
She went through the damn windshield, man.
It did. Just like old boy did in Hitman's Bodyguard. He went through the windshield.
Yeah.
But no. Okay.
So that's your one.
That's your one. Okay. I said name 2.
I can find others.
I said name.
Give me a minute. I'll find some more.
A Fortune 1000
The point is that they don't succeed or fail any more or less. They just don't have the opportunity
right
as often.
Right.
And so that's
and for the ones that are given the opportunities, their companies are thriving. I mean,
or they have enough sense that if it's not, they put the foot on the brake and say, wait, hold up. Something's wrong.
Wait a minute, hold on a second. Y'all going overboard now. I mean, women, yes. But they don't succeed or fail any more or less than anybody else. That's the point.
Correct.
Right?
Fair statement.
They have their fair chance to run a company off into the ditch. They can be on crack too, by the way.
True.
They can be absentee parents too.
They can sexually harass just like a dude can.
They just don't get an opportunity to do it as often.
Right. And the reason is because of that thing called this infamous thing called hysteria. I was watching some movie while we were on vacation
That's
about
the thing.
Well, yeah, right. You know, the whole
about to step in it, man. It's not like you about to step in it.
No.
That's
I'm saying dudes are saying that. Not that ain't real. You know, I know my stuff. Good try.
Be careful, man.
Good try.
I try to save you from yourself sometimes, man. Don't step in it.
Nah, I'm done. I'm done.
Every once in a while, you know,
I'm
you
done.
go there. I'm like,
You need to stop, E.
yeah.
Nope.
Don't do it.
Rich, get over here, man.
Ixnay on the
talkie. Wait, Tristan. Eric, be like, wait.
It is so funny because Eric knows, because he saw me. He was like,
Don't do that, Rich.
I'm saying what other dudes say, Tristan. Ain't me. I
It's
ain't
almost
breaking
like
that
he
on.
knows it and he hear my voice. I was like, that's a thing.
No, you cleared your throat first. You went,
I did.
Yeah, that's your
I'm a
tail.
big-
That's your
my
tail.
sound.
So you've been saved.
Yes.
Okay.
Doggone it. I got to figure
You
that
got
out.
a tail.
Okay?
Nah, you can't
All
resist
right,
it.
y'all. That's all the time we
can't
have. I
fix
want to
that.
thank you for yours, Tristan, for the news. Thank you very much.
You're so welcome.
Look like
my
Asian
love.
dudes for doing your thing.
Thank you,
partner.
partner. Always.
Choose
Richard.
views. We need to do that for Bill Curtis too. Choose views. The worldwide hit.
Oh, my
You hear us,
God.
Bill?
Tune into the family meeting every Sunday at 4. I'm your host, Eric Grant. Peace.
My dear laced up with fly gear and makeup, but you should see her when she wake up. Never could we break up. Shout till you drop.
Meeting is sponsored by Polaris Insurance Agency.
Buy your
Eric Grant.
punch
To the
out.
extent of